What is going on, everybody? Welcome to a special edition of the Haunted House of Nerd Show. You know, it's spooky season, and we're here today with Mr. Christian Dibari, artist extraordinaire. Christian, what's going on? How you doing, my man?
Hey, how's it going, guys? It's good. It's good, man. I like that intro, by the way. It's like there's a subway station not far from me. It's exactly like that. It's like the same. It's real dark lit, creepy as hell. I'd never go there.
I was about to say, what's the crime rate looking like under there?
Over there, actually, it's not so bad. It's like in Brooklyn. Yeah, it's just like in Brooklyn and everywhere else. It seems like there's always a problem now, but that place, yeah. Every time I've ever walked by it, I'm like, nope, I'm good.
Oh, so you're out of NYC then?
Yeah, I'm uptown. I'm in the Washington Heights area. It's very Dominican area.
Washington Heights, that's Spanish Harlem, is it not?
No, that's on the east side. I'm on the west side. So
okay.
Yeah. It's I've been here for a long time.
All right, cool. Sounds good. You know, thank you for hanging out with us. You know, busy schedule. You got a lot of things going on these days.
Yeah.
One of them being a fantastic book by the name of Revolvers, dropping Wednesday, October the 5th, folks. Out from Top Cow Image, man.
Mm-hmm.
I just read that bad boy. Ooh, man. What's going on with Revolvers, Christian? What can you tell us?
Well, Revolvers was really a treat when I was offered it, because I had just finished a one shot with Matt Hawkins, and they threw me this, and they're like, yeah, we'd like you to take a look at this and see what you think. And it's about a detective who he's on this case. He's tracking this guy called the Piton, and it's kind of like a whole big messy situation. He essentially learns once he gets to that guy's lair that not everything is what it seems, and everything is really, really, really messed up. Things get darker and darker as it goes, until then things start to, I guess, get a little supernatural. And before you know it, Hampton Wales, our main character, finds out his wife is dead, and suddenly he is too. The question is, did he take his own life, or did someone take it from him? And so he's kind of stuck in like a purgatory type hell. It's a very twisted tale, and I'm not kidding when I say this. First issue is messed up. The second issue is even more messed up. Like it's darker and darker, and it's probably the darkest. I think it's probably the darkest book I've ever done for work for hire from, like, for a company. And they let me they let me go crazy. And there's a lot of, like, I got to do a lot of like all the visual stuff you're seeing there, like is really just like I got to kind of just go nuts, and I discussed with the writer John, and I really got to just kind of open up and go nuts, and use a little bit of influence with Hellraiser, but then there's other things. I even used I used a lot of Michael Mann stuff from like Heat, because it's it's a crime story, and it's like wanted to get that kind of grittiness to it.
Man,
I wanted to throw that real supernatural crazy hell with like the most weirdest twisted kind of creatures and demons, and everything is bizarre. Even the Python, the way I drew him, he's not normal. He's like, his face is really weird. Like I have his face like almost, in a way, it kind of changes sometimes when he talks, and just to keep the reader kind of on their toes and not sure what to think of him. What is he? Where does he come from?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Is he real, or is it a possessed person? You know, like that kind of thing. So it's a, for me, it was a huge treat to work on because it was just so you know, go crazy and make it as dark as you want, and you know, and the story was really tight. So you know, I kind of just went with it. So, and you guys read it? You guys read the first issue?
Yeah, I gotta say, so I went into Revolvers, Christian. I like to go into most books and not knowing anything about them. I didn't even know a synopsis, nothing. I just went into it. So this was a whole lot of fun for me. It read very much like a crime drama for like 90% of the book, with like little horror elements sprinkled in, and then there's that big switch, that genre change, where it really becomes a supernatural horror type book. And I thought that was a lot of fun. Unexpected twist, like you said, moody, gritty, dark, violent, man. Really, really fun stuff. I liked the big bad, the villain, Piton.
Oh yeah.
Piton, got really, you know, creepy, just wild vibes from not only him but the book, man. You guys got something special on your hands, I think, here.
Oh, thank you, man. I don't know. I wasn't sure. I'm gonna be honest with both of you. I wasn't sure what the reaction was going to be. I remember being nervous after I finished the first issue, because I was like, I don't know, you know, I was like, this is like, there's some messed up stuff in here, you know, and you know, it could upset a lot of people, could, you know, make people think, you know, the wrong thing. But I kind of looked at it like, well, you know, it's a horror story, right? And some of my favorite horror, like Jacob's Ladder or something like that, you know, like Jacob's Ladder is like one of my top movies. And it's like, guys, you know, he's in Vietnam and he's dying, and all this other stuff is happening. But what is the stuff that's real? What's, you know, it's, you know, that kind of thing. And, you know, and that gets super dark, you know, that's a super dark story. Yeah. And I think for me, I always think, well, the best stories are the darker ones, right? Like the ones that kind of leave a little bit of a imprint on your brain. You're like, man, that part's messed up. Like, if you think about it more, you know, because there's the scene that I drew that, you know, he feels like he failed, and it's like, you know, and I kind of pushed a little bit more supernatural look to that sequence. And I didn't want to be like over gratuitous or insensitive, but I wanted it to have an impact, right? So it was kind of a moment of, I got to do this right. You know what I mean? But I also did stuff with the Python too, where he shoots him and then he's like pulling out his intestines, you know, and like and smiling, you know, and that's like another thing I thought about, you know, because I think in the script it was like he's holding his wound or something and laughing. But I thought, wouldn't it be really messed up and he's like holding his intestines and laughing, like, you know, kind of pushing that visual where it's like a just nightmare fuel moment. It's a quick beat, but it's something that's like, you know, what the hell is going on here?
With the catchy line too.
Yeah. John's script is really, it's really good. It's got a lot of good dialogue. The characters. I mean, I'm not joking when I say this. It's like, wait until you see issue 2, because issue 2 is like, the minute I started it, I was like, oh man, like just when I thought that stuff was already dark as it was and all this other, it's like it unfolds all kinds of different things, and then the third issue and so on. So it's like, you know, I really feel like this definitely has multi layers of things, and it's fragmented in a way, but which was also a challenge because I don't think I've ever drawn a fragmented story before, where it comes back to other events, whether it be flashback or it's like just showing the reader, that. And yeah, I mean, it's one of those books where, as I've told them as I was working on it, I was like, this is, for me, it's a blast. It's an absolute, blast to work on. And same for Simon as well, because he reads the scripts and he was just like, okay, like he got it right away. It was like, he knew what to do with it visually. So
and it's great to see you and Simon working together again. I think one of my first notes here, there's a familiarity with you guys, an undeniable just a cohesion, a synergy, man, that's instantly, I can't even really put it to words. I guess, just a very appealing, style, look, and just, again, instantly recognizable, man. It's like, yo, these guys are working together. And I really wish, selfishly, I just want to see more and more of you guys, you and Simon. On any any books that you guys are working on, man.
Oh, you definitely will. I mean, that's the thing. I think we started out, like, our first gig together, I think, was a short story for volume 2 of the Hellraiser anthology for Clive Barker himself, like when he was publishing it.
Oh, wow.
He's publishing these comics, these Hellraiser anthologies. Unfortunately, the second volume, that the one I did a story on, was the last. And because it was going to be a third, and then it got canceled, which was, really a shame. But that was our first official, like, gig together, and it was exciting for both of us. And then from there, some things, it happens where it's like, we worked on something and then it got canceled, or we were working on this one book with Justin Jordan 3 years ago, and something really strange happened where it was like picked up by one publisher, and then it was dropped, and it was in negotiations to get picked up by another, and then it got bought by Netflix.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
Wow.
And now I don't even know if that's going to happen now, because there's all this crazy stuff that's going on with Netflix. So it might not just even happen, but they purchased it or whatever. So it's like, we kind of laughed, because it was like, well, we didn't even get to finish the first issue, but whatever. So I mean, there's stuff like that, but like with we did the one shot Colossus together, and that was a lot of fun. That was a pretty cool anti-bullying story. So we had a blast with that, and and we definitely have more coming up from Top Cow and everyone else. So,
and Colossus, was that Top Cow as well?
Yep,
it was, right? Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that came out earlier this year, I think. Yeah. So I think it was tied to a metal band called the Clay People, and based off of like one of their songs. And Matt Hawkins wrote a story. It was like, some of it was taken from his life, like certain things that he had done or went through when he was a teenager, when he was young. So I thought it was super cool to work on something like that. That was the message ultimately was anti-bullying and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, that was fun. Revolvers is a very just a very different book, very, very tone-wise, very different. And and visually, especially with the second issue, you guys are going to see some crazy stuff in that too. So
I'm hyped. I'm looking forward to it. Yeah.
And on theme with anti-bullying, you have Rad Wraith.
Oh yes, that's right. How could I forget? Now that is probably that is, that one is interesting because I started that with my friend Tristan, and Tristan is the writer, and Tristan Gallagher, and he he got really worried when I told him about Colossus, because he was like, "Whoa, this sounds really close to Rad Wraith," and I was like, "No, it's not.
No, it's not.
It's not. Like, trust me, just because there's a skateboarding thing, it is not even close." I was like, "This is like Rad Wraith is our love letter to B-movie horror and skateboarding, and like, that it's all that culture, all of it wrapped into one. It's a big love letter." But ultimately, it's anti-bullying, because what happens to this kid? It's terrible. It's you can show it too if you want.
Oh, for me myself, I'll show this panel, but I don't like the next panel, the next page. It makes me mad.
That's
disgusting in the best way possible.
No joke. That was
visceral reaction. Yeah,
that's exactly what I was going for. I had when I showed some other artist friends that page, their reaction was, "What the fuck?" Like it was like they had a moment where they were like just so taken aback, like, well, what the hell are you doing? Like that kind of thing. But yeah, I mean that is a very upsetting. It's a very upsetting moment, and it's supposed to upset the hell out of you, and then it pulls you into that entire realm of revenge. I mean, he's just in the kind of in the similar way of like how the Crow was, in the early 90s.
Okay.
Him and his wife are killed, and then he comes back, and and all that. But I don't want to compare it too much to that, because this is very heavy-handedly. I want to say this is just a completely different thing, where it's like Rad Wraith himself, the entity, is so. I feel like he's so over the top, and he, the way I designed him, the way he talks, the way he kills. Because you got to admit, I mean, I wanted to make sure that every single one that participated in Grum's death was going to face something much worse. And did you read issue 2?
It's been a long time, to be honest, since.
Okay, well, there's a part where this one of them steals a little kid's French fries, and as he's skateboarding away eating the French fries, Rad Wraith skates right up next to him, and then he pulls out a nail from that ramp. He goes, "Remember this?" And then he flicks it, and I did like all these panels to show that the nail flipping in the air, and then it like hits the ground right before the guy's skateboard wheel, and then he like flips off of it, and Rad Wraith jumps on top of his back, and then proceeds to use him as a skateboard down the hill, and it's just scraping him all the way.
And it's so funny that like it's just scraping, body scraping is like one thing that like I could watch like gross out horror and be like, whatever. But like, there's something about a good asphalt drag that just my stomach is like, girl, no. Yeah,
I'm with you. I mean, that's the thing, is that I had to do that like a few times with Rad Wraith, and even with Revolvers. There's like I've been asked this before, is there something in horror you don't like? And I was like, yeah, I don't handle, especially if it's done in a realistic manner, I don't handle any type of like in detailed people getting their skin torn off, like in slow fashion, whatever you want to call it. Like there's certain moments like that's happened that was like, whoa, like the movie Silent Hill, like the Pyramid Head grabs and then just pulls it off like real quick, and it's so fast. You're just like, what the, that didn't mess me up, but it's like in other movies or things that do that slowly is like, it messes with me a little too much.
Even like in drama, like there was an episode of Winning Time, like where he fell off the bicycle, and just the sound is like, ugh.
Yeah,
right. I do remember that scene. That was not pleasant. No. So Rad Wraith sounds like it's very much fitting for the spooky, for the Halloween season.
Oh yeah.
And tentatively,
You'll get it.
Tentatively, did I say that right? Tentatively dropping October the 19th. So folks, keep your eyes peeled for that one. You know what? I feel we're doing like every week, every episode in October, we're doing like a spooky, horror type book discussing. So I feel like we might have to do that. We got a couple open weekends, yeah. Rad Wraith, might have to check that one out. Sounds really sounds fun, sounds interesting.
And you know what? It has like a light tone to it. Even it's dark, but it's a fun read. It's a really fun book. Yeah.
What you guys are talking about, Christian's talking about that one panel that even
man,
we're a little bit. So I gotta check this out now.
It's a different. I will say it's like there's a little bit of, like, it has heart to it. You know what I mean? And there's a lot of comedy there too, because it's like it's meant to make you also laugh. You're not supposed to take everything so serious. And there's moments where it's like super over the top, and there's like just like silly things here and there, that you would find in a B movie, but not so like I don't want to make it sound like we're like winking at the camera or something. No. It's more like just honest. And again, it's like it's that one book that is for Tristan and I, like just labor of love. We love that world, and I definitely will be sad when the last issue comes out and that's it. How
many issues is Rad Wraith?
Just 4.
Yeah. 4? Okay.
Yeah.
So 1 and 2, folks, out right now. Go out and pick that up if you guys haven't already. Yeah. Let's support these dope.
You'll be at ComicCon. Not to throw out a stalking schedule or anything, but
yeah. I mean, it's this is the first time I've actually set up at New York Comic Con and since 2015 actually was the last time I did it.
Okay.
Oh really? Even though it's your hometown.
Yeah, there was a lot of factors. There was a lot of factors, and I kind of had to stop going once my daughter and my son were born. Well, when my son was born, there was no New York Comic Con. That was when everything was locked down. So that whole year there was nothing. But even still, like the year after, it was like, no, I can't do it. But this year, as I told people, I said that I'll be at Matt Hawkins' booth, and I'll be there on Thursday, Friday, and Sunday, not Saturday. And I'll be there from around 3 to like 5, 6 o'clock, signing books, reading people, whatever they got. They got, copies of Rad Wraith or older stuff, techno horror, anything they want to bring, for me to sign, that's not a problem at all. More than happy to. And, and just chat. It's, I always love meeting, readers and seeing what they thought of the books or, So, I'm trying to, keep it light and positive, fun, just do it,
man. Hope you have, a successful, a fun, New York City Comic-Con, man. Everybody go check out Christian Dibari and tell him the House of Nerd sent you, man. But that's great, man. Should be fun. Should be a whole lot of fun, yeah.
But I am gonna throw this up real quick because I'm obsessed with this. And I promise you, I didn't see this book on Kickstarter before, but then you posted that you were doing it's a pinup inside.
Yeah.
I was like,
weird.
I don't even know what this is about. I mean, I know the story afterwards, but I was like, I don't know what this is. But I love this so much. It's so good.
Thank you. Thank you. That's a piece for Thunderchild, I believe is the title, and it's a spin-off or a version of War of the Worlds, which I'm very fond of as well. And so when they asked me to do it, and I kind of sat down and had like a quick visual in my head of like, what if you looked up and saw one of these things, and it's like the worst kind of nightmare fuel. It's like lightning's hitting it, and it's shooting these beams and destroying everything around. And Simon, as always, takes it to the next level. So yeah, it's a fun book. And I got to say that the art inside is really impressive. The artist is really, really, really talented. So it's a lot of great artists, and that Kickstarter did well, I believe. I think it did very well.
That's dope, man. I love that. Yeah, man. Just pops. That pops. You gonna have any prints of that or anything like that at the available at the con there?
I don't know. I'm gonna pack very light. Whatever I'm allowed to put down on the table, I'll do that. But I'm not quite sure. I think I have plenty of leftovers from 2019 of like my Godzilla print and Alien print. I have like 2 of those, so I might bring some of those if people are interested.
All right.
But yeah, I mean, this will be the first big show I've done in like 3 years. So, it's been that long since I've done a show. I think the last show I did was in Baltimore in 2019.
Yeah, it's been a while. Yeah. Okay. Well, a successful New York Comic-Con to you, Christian.
Thank you.
Again, folks, Revolvers #1 dropping Wednesday, October the 5th. Written by Zuur Platten, artist Christian Dibari, on colors Simon Gough, lettered by Troy Peteri. Man, this one is wild, crazy. You're gonna go into it. You're maybe expecting something, and then you're hit with just some wild shit, man. Detective Hampton Wales, hardened cop, man. Early on, we find out he's dead. I don't think that's spoiler. It's in the previews, and then the book takes us on this really weird journey. We're trying to find out just how the hell he ended up dead, and it takes you to some crazy places. I got heavy Training Day meets Hellraiser vibes. This is a good one, folks. Definitely recommend you guys check it out. Great stuff. Christian, anything else that you wanted to add about the book or what you got coming up? A store, perhaps, an online store for folks to check you out?
I don't have my online shop up at the moment. I might do that. I might do that later this month, but I am going to be a part of another Kickstarter called the Black Box Chronicles, and that's going to be launching in early December through Magnetic Press, and both me and Simon are doing a story. It's written by Mark Shea and Chris Northrop, and so that's going to be really exciting. It's all sci-fi, it's all science fiction stuff. It's definitely something different. And that should be dropping early December. And I'll make sure you guys get information on that too, if you want to check it out as well on that Kickstarter.
Absolutely, man. Hey, anything you put out, man, we're always happy to check it out and talk about it, man. Really, folks, Christian and Simon and horror master team, man. You guys always crushing it. Always a pleasure to read the stuff you guys are putting out. Again, folks, Revolvers, go out and pick it up, man. From Top Cow, you guys are gonna enjoy this. A trip, man. Cocked, locked, and loaded 6-shooter. Guys, go out and get that bad boy. You're gonna enjoy it. Oh. Are we out of here? Anything to say?
Yeah, with that line you just gave, yeah, we're done here.
Like that. You like that one. There you go, folks. You guys enjoyed this. Be sure to hit that thumbs up, subscribe, check out Christian's work, support these dope creators and artists, man. Thanks for checking out this discussion with the one and only Christian Dibari. We're out, folks.